Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my declutter of my neutral single eyeshadows. I've done the colorful ones first and then I realized that I was not gonna get through all of them, so I decided to push the neutrals to a different video. What we're gonna do today is actually get rid of and go through and get rid of the shadows and formulas that I'm not interested in anymore, or that I have duplicates in my new Makeup Geek Matrix palettes. This was sent to me by the brand NPR together with a colorful one, but I used to have all of the Makeup Geek single eyeshadows pretty much that they had ever brought out. I was missing maybe 5 or 10. So I have a lot of duplicates and I want to get rid of those. And there's a few formulas that I don't enjoy anymore or colors that I don't use. So yeah, let's get started. I am going to start with the neutrals. I don't know, I divided them in mauve burgundies, neutrals, and warm neutrals. So that's a bit where we are. And get rid of a few things. So first things first, Shimmer used to be one of the best shimmery light shades that was in the market. My hands are a little bit like dry from cleaning them so much from swatching them, but they remade it in the new formula and it's less shimmery, but also I haven't used shimmer in so long, so I'm gonna get rid of it. The shade Vanilla Bean was also a big favorite, but also now I think I think it's this one maybe is the new one, or this is even lighter, but I don't need to have this one as well. And the shade Baby Face was a bit more of a little bit darker, and again might be similar to this, or yeah, it's not, but I can get rid of this one. It's another very light pale shadow that I won't use. I am keeping Kids, I think it's called, no, Coconut Milk by Nabla. I like this one a lot, and it has a very nice feather matte formula, as they call it. For shimmers, these are things that I pressed myself. Liquid Mirror by Neve Cosmetics, which is one of the most gorgeous shimmers. I don't know, it's just so unique and beautiful. This one I have no idea what it is, but it's also very beautiful, more cool toned, keeping both of those. Then what do we have? We have Da Coco from Colourpop. This I have already in the Going Coconuts palette, but I do like it, so I'm gonna put it in a maybe pile. And by maybe pile, I mean a palette of shadows that I need to check if I really want to keep. That's what I call my maybe pile right now. This one right here seems something like I made. This is Australian Amber by TKB Trading. And yeah, my skin is just so dry and nothing sticks to it. It's quite pretty, but I'm also not sure I want to keep it, so that goes in a maybe. This is Old Shimmer by Makeup Geek. Quite pretty though, isn't it? Pocket change. But I have to say that I don't really reach for these shadows because of the formula. I prefer more like chunky, textured shimmers these days. Here I have Hayride and Latte. Latte used to be one of my favorite transition shades, and Barcelona Beach from Makeup Geek. And I want to say that there must be something similar in this palette, but I don't see it, so it might not be the case. I have Creme Brulee here, but I think I already got rid of the original Creme Brulee and Beach Please. I don't know that these have any counterparts. These are much warmer, actually. Oh, Latte is such a good one. Yeah, Barcelona Beach is, should be probably similar to Beach Please, actually. So I'm gonna get rid of that one. Back here I have a shimmer. This is Homecoming by Makeup Geek, and I'm gonna get rid of that one too. This one is a Blink eyeshadow that was in a boxy charm at some point, but it had the most gorgeous shimmers, and I'm gonna keep it. I depotted it because I didn't care for the format. This is Woodwinked by MAC. Such a classic, such a waste of money. No, I don't know. It's still very pretty, but it's very understated. I'm gonna keep it for now, but I'm gonna try to get some use out of it. I have Pretentious by Makeup Geek. Why am I liking these all so much right now? I'm gonna get rid of it. I never reach into these palettes, and I should. This is Creased by Makeup Geek. This one is White Truffle by Nabla. I love these Nabla. I actually have a whole Nabla palette right here that we will need to go through, probably, because these are so good. Again, just wash my hands and nothing swatches on them. But for example, I think Creased can go because White Truffle is so similar, and I don't need them both. Here I have Golden Gate Bridge from Colourpop and Frappé for Makeup Geek. I kind of don't feel I need both of them. By nostalgic reason, I'll keep Frappé. I love Frappé as a shade. I feel like I should have moisturized my hands now that I think about it, but that's okay. This is a shimmer that I made myself. Experiment number 22. Which is a nice shimmery brown, actually. I should use it more. Here we have Luna by Makeup Geek. This is a foiled shadow, and it's pretty nice. Really still very actual formula. Color Drain Amazon Basing is one of my favorite shadows in general. It's a beautiful, more cooler toned dark brown, but now that I see next to the one I made, I think I would prefer to use Amazon Basing, so I'll get rid of the other one. Here we have Frozen Brown from Glam Shop. It should not be here, but it should be with my Glam Shop shadows. Definitely not getting rid of that one. This is from the 35M palette from Morphe, and I kept it because look at that formula, and it looks wet. It has these little shimmer particles and make it look wet. Very beautiful. And then Hot to Trot, also from the 35M, is instead a more warm but still deep brown. Also keeping that one. And then down here I have some dark shades. I am keeping for sure Inglot 298, and I need to think what to do about Mocha, Dark Roast, Rich Brown by ABH, and Color Drain Matriarch. I'm definitely keeping Makeup Geek Corrupt. It's the best black ever, so I'm not gonna get rid of that one. But I don't know how these are, for example, in terms of undertones. They seem all different, obviously. And I have a lot of very good memories using Mocha and Dark Roast and the rest of them. So I don't know, I might keep them all, to be honest. And there's gonna be probably some overlap here though. Like, how's this one? Quite similar to the ABH one. They don't swatch great. As I said, my hands are super dry, so the pigment doesn't grab. Not too much overlap. I feel like this one is even more purpley than these ones. I'm gonna keep them. Just keep them down here. My dark browns. And this palette is already about half, so I'm very happy with that. Moving on to this tiny Nabla palette. I don't think I'm gonna get rid of any of these because they're just really nice. And I had already decluttered a lot of my Nabla singles previously, and I actually don't know about this one. Ritz, I think it's called. I'm gonna keep that, and I'm gonna keep all of these, to be honest. I like them, so let's agree on that. Then I have this little palette of dark shadows, and this was an accident. This is, I think, Dragon from Neve Cosmetics. It's a pigment I pressed, and I mean, it's gorgeous, but it's exploded everywhere. and I never use it. So I'm gonna empty it out and reuse the pan for something else. Then from the rest, I have Insomnia by Makeup Geek. This is like a blue-brown dupe, which was out for a little bit. I still really like this one. This one is Ocean Green that I pressed myself, but I don't think I don't see myself using it, so this one will go. This one is Wishful Winking by Colourpop, and I don't know, it's actually quite nice, but I don't know if I see myself using these very much. Then I have Actual Blue Brown that I pressed myself from the loose powder, and I can't get rid of either this one or Insomnia. Somehow I just don't. Black Star Green by TKB Trading that I pressed myself is a very deep teal. Maybe I should put it with my teal shadows. And this is an Essence pigment from 1,000 years ago that one of the first things that I pressed, and it's still quite a beautiful gunmetal shade. So I'm gonna keep these and redistribute them in the palettes where they're supposed to be. Okay, it's now officially nighttime, but we have to continue and push through and finish this declutter. So we're going into my warm neutrals now, and this is an old Coastal Scents palette. Old, it's not old, but Coastal Scents doesn't exist anymore. So, and in here, well, we have my only panned eyeshadow, I think, eyeshadow single, oh no, there's two that I ever had. It's Beaches and Cream by Makeup Geek and Creme Brulee, and I think that Creme Brulee is indeed this one right here. Yeah, this is the new Creme Brulee, so I can officially call this retired. But for Beaches and Cream, I don't think they ever brought anything similar. However, yeah, I don't know if I need to have it, to be honest. These are all like eyeshadows that I can find elsewhere, or yeah, I have in palettes, and it's not necessarily something that I bring into my singles. Let me just compare it to, for example, this one right here, which is the one that I use the most. That is actually quite lighter. And then from these, there's this guy right here that might be similar, but it's a little bit deeper. I don't know, Peaches and Cream, Peach Smoothie, they might stay just because they're like old school and stuff that I used a lot and I used to love a lot. I have Artemis, which was a newer one, but it's just a simple champagne. I'm gonna get rid of that one, I think. I need more space for swatches. This one is another one from that Bink palette, and this one is beautiful. You can see it, how nice and shiny it is. Yeah, I think I'm keeping that one too. This one right here is So Pale, and it's a very, very pale shade, but I'm gonna get rid of it. I don't use these a lot, and I really only need one. Rapunzel was a pretty satin highlighter for, let's say, the brow bone or the inner corner, but again, I can get away without it. Mirage was my favorite eyeshadow because it was slightly more yellow toned and it worked better on my skin tone. And nowadays we have this one, which is, I think, something with bananas. Yeah, Banana Split, which I think is enough for me. Is it though? They're pretty similar. I'm gonna get rid of Mirage as well. My god. The End of an Era. This one is Magic Act by Makeup Geek. This one broke and I had to repress it, but it's a beautiful, I used it on my wedding as well. I don't think I have it in the new form, and I never remember which ones I have here. No, clearly not. So I'm gonna keep it. And then here we have Peach Sorbet by Anastasia Beverly Hills, which I think I can get rid of. It's quite similar, but this is 20 something by Colourpop. I used to love this because it's a little bit more chunky and, let's say, glittery almost. Here we have Versailles by Neve Cosmetics. It's another amazing pigment that I pressed, and it's like, these are so beautiful. Definitely keeping that one. Then Diego, which is from Colourpop, one of the newer ones that I bought. Also gorgeous texture, beautiful shade. It's maybe a little bit similar to Versailles, but I think it's warmer and less deep. I have Board Shorts by Colourpop. I don't know. See how it's not as shiny and beautiful? This will go. Bake Sale by Makeup Geek. Beautiful neutral. Love it. Keeping it. And I'm looking here, there, and I don't have a lot of overlap with these two palettes. Wait, let me push it down a little bit. Maybe this guy is similar, but it really isn't. It's much lighter. And this one is much warmer. So Sora was a collaboration with Mani MUA, I want to say. It's quite a warm toned transition. Fawn by Anastasia Beverly Hills is a warm toned transition, but it's a little bit more yellow in undertone. I'm gonna continue on the other side, actually re-swatching these, because I want to make sure I can compare them. And I understand that they're not super different, but I have memories with these. This is Buffed from Makeup Geek. I remembered it much lighter indeed. This was quite a light eyeshadow. This might be similar to this guy right here though. It's called, oh no, this is Creme Brulee, of course. I just looked at it. Genius, Alice, genius. It's a bit lighter. Buffed is a little bit lighter. Do I need it though? Do I need it? I don't think I can see as big of a difference that I need both. But for now, I'll keep it. Freckles by Colourpop. Also one of my favorite transition shades. I always really loved it. Tan Lines, also a favorite. And you can see that these tones are not in the new Matrix, but they used to have so many of them. Are they different enough? Maybe. This one right here is Manhattan Coffee Run by Colourpop. A little bit deeper, a little bit more neutral. And then we go into the warmer ones. This is Lil Boat by Colourpop. This is warmer, and these are even warmer. This is Cabin Fever by Makeup Geek. This one has a little bit more of a red undertone, whereas the other one has more of an orange undertone. We have Top Notch by Colourpop, which is again even a little bit different, but do I need them all? This is more orange still. I probably don't. I'm gonna get rid of Top Notch. Ooh, these are so difficult. This is Blazing by Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is a very warm one. And here there's some that are actually similar. Popular Demand by Colourpop. That's a little bit deeper. And this one is Apple Spice by Makeup Geek, one of the last ones that they made in this round pan. Quite similar to this guy that I got rid of, so I can keep it. Does that logic work at all? We have Sidekick by Makeup Geek here. Beautiful, but very similar to everything I already kept. My goodness. But you see that here, they look so different. I don't know. I don't know. Then, yeah, I have a few more mattes here. Sea Stars by Colourpop. This one looks more orange than anything else here. I have an Inglot. This is the shade 300, which is also more orange, but even a little bit more brown. I don't need both though, do I? No, I'll keep the Inglot and I'll get rid of the Colourpop one. And then finally Feathered, which is the deepest one in this series, let's say. Beautiful. Feathered is one of my favorites. And now for some shimmers. They all look amazing, to be honest. I think this is another one from that Bink yeah, Blink, sorry, palette. Gorgeous. This one's from the 35M palette. Oh, look at how beautiful that is. They're both so beautiful. This one is something I made, apparently. But it reminds me a little bit of Versailles, doesn't it? Just a little bit more orange, actually. Let's put it in on the side for now. This one is Sunset by Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is also absolutely gorgeous and a beautiful texture at that. This guy is Up an Atom by Colourpop, but I think that will go. It's not good enough to stay. Here I have Legend, which I have in the new formula and I can let go of. It's also quite similar to other things, but I have it in the other, not in the different formula, but in the square pans. This one right here is Surfrider by Colourpop, one of the more recent ones that I bought and I haven't actually used. It's quite firm in the pan, but you can see that it has that wet look that is given by some glitters inside, or not glitters, but sparkle inside. It's quite special in terms of how it looks, but very similar to Legend, so I'm gonna get rid of that one too. Here we have Roulette, which has survived many a declutter because it's a beautiful, like copper toned, reddish copper toned eyeshadow. Goddess, I think this one will go, yeah. This one is not shimmery enough. Then we have West Star by Colourpop, which is a darker, actually quite nice, it looks like a darker eyeshadow. This one is from Colourpop, it's called The Vibes. Wow. Yeah, this one is beautiful. It has a lot of texture and dimension. Fenice by Neve Cosmetics. It's something I repanned. They come in these huge pans. And, oh, I think I like it better than this one by Colourpop, don't I? And to Roulette. I do think that means Roulette will go, and I'll keep Fenice instead. This one is Material Girl by Colourpop. And it's a dark brown with some sparkle in it, but it's not really that, I like the tone of it, but it's not really that impressive. And finally Steampunk by Makeup Geek, which is a duochrome. It has like a black base with a copper shift. It's quite nice. I rarely use it, but it's quite nice. So it looks like I might actually be able to combine these two with some creative thinking. And actually I did not even swatch the Nabla ones next to the other ones to see which ones I wanted to keep, but it's okay. I know I love the Nabla formula, so these will keep all of them, but I could have actually compared these to the other mattes that we had previously. It's okay. So it is. I think these can stay, and I like how nuanced and so many different undertones of medium browns I have. It's the ones that I use the most in my crease. So, and these are not as many. So I'm happy that this is the way it is. And actually this shade could very much live here, to be honest. One more neutral palette, let's say, is this one that is my Mauves and Burgundies. And I love the tones, as you can see. And there's a little bit of overlap with those mattes and with a few others in these neutrals right here, I think. So let's see how that goes. This is Glasswork from Nabla Cosmetics. I bought it secondhand and it's like a topper, but it really doesn't oh yeah, actually it does. Look at that. I was like, oh, it doesn't transfer on my hand, and then it does, and it's amazing. It's a bit like Water Dream, which, where is my Water Dream? That's a good question. If it's not in these, where would it be? Oh, of course, with the rest of my Nabla eyeshadows. This one is Water Dream right here, and it's one of the first of their crystal shadows, which are in practice these wet look eyeshadows. Mine is a bit old, clearly, but it picks up usually well enough with a brush. And you can see this one is a little bit more neutral and without a base. This one has a bit of a base in there. Not that I use them a lot, but yeah, they're nice. Bandwagon, one of my favorite mattes, the cooler mattes by Makeup Geek. I wonder if it's similar to this guy. Yeah, yes, kind of. Oh, it is. It's very similar to this guy, which is Beach Please. We've seen it earlier. I'm surprised that they're so similar, but hey, the swatches don't lie. The Top Notch, this was a very famous one at the beginning of my YouTube and makeup obsession, and it was a dupe for something by MAC. Taupe something by MAC. So I got it, but to be honest, I barely wore it. It broke, and it's just too satiny, and I don't care for it. So that can go. I have Chic Happens, which also looks similar to other things that I have. This is by Colourpop. Reminds me of these, which it actually is quite similar, to be honest. Maybe a tad warmer. What do you think? Are they different enough? I'm not sure about that. In the maybe pile. This guy is Lucky Penny. I'm surprised it's in here, actually. I would expect it in another palette. But it's a very pretty shade. And it has a nice, I don't know, satin, but not too boring type of shade. This is one of my favorites. It's Leon by Nabla. It's definitely staying. This one is Grandstand by Makeup Geek. They did make the new square version, but I don't have it. So this is one of my favorite eyeshadows ever. I wore it on my wedding. That one right there. This guy right here is Pink Champagne by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it's a gorgeous, more cooler tone champagne shadow. Definitely keeping that one. This one is Snowberry by Nabla, but I think this one is way too satiny. Ah, but the shade is so pretty. But the texture, I don't see myself using it, so that can go. This one is Moscow Sunrise, one of my favorites from Colourpop, right here. It's quite nice and a good texture as well. This guy right here is Wild West, which is one of my favorites for mid-tones. Now my hand is wet because I just cleaned it with a makeup wipe, but it's one of my favorite mattes in this color family. I think this one's Cupcake. And why did I keep Cupcake, since there is a newer version of Cupcake? Maybe because the newer one was deeper or something. I think it's this one. No, this one? Yes. I think the newer one looks warmer, to be honest. Like quite a bit warmer than the old Cupcake. That's why I kept it, so that I would have a bit of a cooler option there. I don't think I'm gonna wear this though, in comparison to the other one. This guy right here is Mesmerized, a beautiful shade. I don't know why it's here and not with my cool toned shadows, which we saw in the previous declutter, but it's not gonna go anywhere. This one from Nabla is On the Road, and I think this one is gonna go because of, oh, actually, I don't know. Look at how pretty it is. The sheen on it is not great, but I can layer something on top. Oh, I wish I had this shade in some other formula. It's so beautiful. Okay, keeping that one. Not helpful. This one is Earl Grey by Neve Cosmetics. Oh. And it can be used as a blush or as an eyeshadow. As a blush, it doesn't work for me. It's way too gray. I don't know that I will use this one as a eyeshadow either. I'll put it in the maybe. Because I only kept a few from Neve Cosmetics, and there was a reason for it. Vintage, I think there's a new vintage. That's this guy. Yeah. This vintage is a little bit more purple, but I don't need two of them. For sure, the nuances are too small. Cute Alert by Colourpop. Now we get into the proper interesting burgundies. Beautiful. Then I have Cherry Cola, a staple from Makeup Geek. I don't understand why they didn't make it again, to be honest. It is really, really good. Are they similar? Yes. Will I get rid of them? No. This is from the 35M palette by Morphe. It's more of a reddish tone. Should use it more often. It's very pretty. This guy is Facet by Colourpop. And this one is a little bit more neutral, more brown. We have Bitten by Makeup Geek. And now I feel like this one should be similar, except that it swatches horribly, to this one, which is actually quite a bit deeper than this Bitten, but I thought it was one-on-one difference. Or yeah, this is Bitten, this is the new Bitten by Makeup Geek. This one's the old one. It's like the old one is a bit lighter and more red, but I think I can skip it. Such an end of an era, that one as well. Showtime by Makeup Geek is one of their foils, and it's kind of a very deep burgundy shade right there. Very pretty. And finally, I think this is Aphrodite. Yes. And this is, I think, should have been the same as this one. It's their more purpley toned, dark brown. That doesn't swatch well, as most of their dark shade don't. I know that one I did get a swatch of. And this one. They're quite similar. I'm gonna get rid of it. So here we are with these three done and much smaller. I will go and rearrange them in a different moment, not right now.